hormone therapy, when should I expect to feel better and how long do I stay on therapy? These are the first few questions that most of my patients would ask when they first come in for therapy. So, hi, I'm Dr. Bennett, Doctor of Nursing Practice and founder of Vista Wellness in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. I help my patients restore their beauty, balance, vitality through personalized hormone therapy and functional medicine. So when it comes to the question about how fast you will feel relief after starting hormone therapy, really depends on the route that we take. But for pellet therapy, there's a more predictable, timeline that we can talk about. So I will walk you through what happens in the first month, second month, third month, and maybe beyond. And so that way you can know what to expect and it could help you make better decision on what route you should use. So for the second part of the question about how long you should stay on therapy, the truth is there is no end date. I tell most of my patients you will stay on therapy as long as you want to continue to feel better. The only time that we will look at stopping therapy is when it is medically necessary for you to stop, or when let's say you develop a condition that causes hormone therapy to become contraindicated, right? And these are things that we would talk about, we would do our checks and balances as we go along. So now what happens in the first week or two? So within the first 7 to 14 days of receiving pellet therapy, most people start to feel some subtle but really powerful changes like better sleep, clearer thinking, improvement in vaginal dryness and irritation, maybe a slight bump in your energy as well. And so your body starts to communicate and your cells are finally getting what they've been missing for a while. So taking a step further, we look at maybe week 3 to 6. This is when most people are becoming more emotionally stable. They're seeing an increase in libido and much more, improvement in vaginal lubrication and dryness, less bloating, fewer hot flashes and night sweats, and easier time getting through the day without feeling so tired all the time. Again, with the pellets, this is when the hormones really start to settle into your system. And so during this time, we would check labs in men at 4 weeks and we would recheck labs in women at 6 weeks. And that's when we're seeing the peak of your hormone levels at that time. Around month number 2 to 3, this is where we're really seeing some major breakthroughs, where we're seeing an improvement in skin elasticity, we're seeing your muscle tone is starting to return, fatigue is really lifted, your motivation is back, your mood is great, your libido is up, and life just feels a whole lot better. And so we would retest labs in women to look at the Trough labs. The Trough lab is when the levels start to drop again, so we know when to repellet you. So in women, the Trough labs will be done around 14 weeks, and in men, we will do the Trough labs again at about 5.5 months. Now, everyone's journey is unique. Your results depend on your baseline, levels, the delivery method, and the consistency. Now, so what can delay your results? Sometimes people don't feel relief right away, and here's why. It could be because of nutrient deficiencies such as your iron, your B12, your vitamin D. We look at optimizing your ferritin level as well. Your thyroid or your adrenal function, we do try to make sure that we optimize those as well when we get started. Maybe poor absorption of especially the topicals. Sometimes some people could have poor absorption of the pellets as well, because the pellets they're placed underneath the skin in the subcutaneous fat, which is not highly vascularized, and that's why they can last 3 to 4 months or 4 to 6 months, and that's the best place to put them. But sometimes people just absorb a little bit slower. And then you also have like emotional stress, gut imbalances, and we try to balance all of those things as we get started. So again, for women, when we start, we draw peak labs in 6 weeks and Trough labs in 14 weeks. And for men, we draw peak labs in 4 weeks and we draw Trough labs in about 5.5 months to see where the levels are. And depending on your lab results and your symptom relief, then we would adjust your dose for the next round. That way we can give you, again, the hormone that is better for your body. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing after all, so we want to make sure that we get it just right. Not too low, not too high, just right. Now, I have seen lots of people go from being exhausted and depressed to feeling so great. They are launching businesses, they're returning to, you know, their old lifestyles, they're joining workouts, they're just finally feeling them like themselves again. So one of my patients told me one time, she was like, it's like I got my spark back. I didn't even realize how dim it had gotten until I got hormone replacement and I feel like myself again. It is always really nice when you have someone say, you've changed my life. So again, little things like that could make a world of difference in some people. I've had patients who are at the verge of losing their jobs because they were so forgetful, they're so tired all the time. At the verge of losing their marriages because of low libido and, you know, poor sexual function and just mood swings, irritability, and you give them hormones and they just come right back to life. So again, it just takes a little bit of information for someone to make the right decision that can really change their life, right? So you deserve to have that spark back in your life. You deserve to be happy. Everyone does. So if you can find the right practitioner, the right treatment that works for you, it can make all the difference that you need. So, but I also want to say that hormone replacement is not an overnight fix. Please don't go to your practitioner or don't come into me and say, can you fix it? It takes a while for us to get things together and see what works for you. So again, it is not an overnight fix, but it's worth every step of the way. And I am privileged to go on that journey with my patients. I want you to book your personalized consultation here at Vista Wellness so we can begin that journey together. Call us at 904-800-4003. Visit us on the web at vistawellnessfl.com. As usual, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and comment. We want constructive comments because it can help someone else who just needs to be in a place of hope. Your story could help another person. Share this video with someone who needs help or who needs a reminder to know that they are not alone. You don't have to live like this forever. With that said, I will see you in my next video.